celeb delight. It's your fix of pop culture every night. Ooh, what's happening in Beverly Hills?
Welcome back to Pop Culture Expose. I am thrilled to introduce today our guest, Krista Marie, the brilliant host of Reality with Krista Marie. Krista dives deep into the wild world of reality TV and pop culture, serving up the juiciest takes with a down-to-earth charm. Today, she's here to help us explore the world of pop culture from the 2010s to now, an era full of unforgettable celebrity moments, reality TV gold, and of course, plenty of lines and rumors. Krista, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for asking me. I'm Reality with Krista Marie. It's the Reality with Krista Marie YouTube channel, but it's the Who's Starting On podcast. Don't ask why. It's two different things, but it is. But I talk about Bravo, Housewives, feuds, and if pop culture comes up, I talk about that. But mostly the feuds. I try to give both sides with my Jersey attitude and my take to it. I try to be fair, but I do. The feuds that we talk about all week long, that's what I like to do. It ends up turning into a recap too, but you can find me 3 days a week live because I'm an asshole. Do live, and if you watch the Crazy Live at 12:15, and I'm sure all my stuff will be linked. But yeah, and this pop culture thing, I kept thinking like Kardashians is what I keep coming up with. I don't know why, but you said 2010s pop culture, I'm like Kardashians. But anyway,
Yeah, well, that will definitely be a part of it. It has been a part of my last 2 episodes because they are just so ingrained to it. I wish they weren't, but unfortunately, they are. So have to give flowers where flowers are due, unfortunately. But really happy to have you on here. Been a fan of yours, early on. We were in another content creator, podcasters, yes, live chat. So known you since then, and then saw you start your own podcast. So it has been really awesome watching your growth, Krista, and your personal growth too. So you should be really, really proud of yourself.
You're gonna make me cry. How dare you?
No crying. We're talking about pop culture, but brush your shoulder off a little bit.
I know, because I have imposter syndrome. I'm like, that's not me. I'm not bad. Like, I'm not rating. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm like, that's not me. Like, little old me here in South Jersey. I don't think so. But I've been watching this.
Keep on doing you.
Like, I've been screaming at Jax Taylor since 2008. You know what I mean? I'm still blocked by Jax. I'm the original blocked by Jax. I'm still blocked by Jax.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised I haven't been blocked by him. Yeah, I do know he's seen one of my posts and he complained to another content creator because I had something wrong grammatically. That's not always my strongest suit. I will admit that, but I just thought it was funny. Like, you don't have anything better to do, like whatever. But congrats on being the OG blocked one.
No, right? And thanks for I'm like literally like I'm very proud of it. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah.
Because he won't unblock me. I'm like, as long as he doesn't unblock me, I'm good.
So. Oh Lordy, that will be a day.
It was my evil twin, the harsh reality. She does no longer exist. I'm Reality with Krista Marie. The harsh reality was my evil twin, the Wicked Witch of the West. She no longer exists. The algorithm does not know who she is.
2.0. Yeah. Now, getting into some of the pop culture, and from the 2010s to present day, the 2010s, Krista, gave us some major pop culture moments from reality TV to the rise of social media influencers like the Kardashians. What do you think was the most defining moment of this era for you, and why?
I really honestly believe that it was when the Kardashians took their brand and turned it into a business. Like, they took their, so they're on TV because of what Kim did. But I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I think the most defining moment was her sex tape and on reality TV and just the influence that they have on pop culture. And I mean, they're still going strong. I mean, I don't know, how much longer they're going to last, but like just their fashion, their business sense, social media. Now, I mean, I do think there's a little bit of untruth to like their social media stuff, but like I'm not mad at how they got there.
Mhm.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, but like their influence is just, it's everything, you know. And then think that Kim was Paris Hilton's friend. Like, just she was the girl that nobody would like. She was behind Paris while Paris was getting, you know, paparazzi and taking her pictures. And then we're like,
Yeah.
this hot girl, you know? And here we are.
Yeah, didn't she help, Paris's closet or something?
She was like a closet organizer, yeah.
Yeah.
Which that is my dream job too. Like, I
Me
don't,
too, stop it.
it's literally my therapy. Like, I rearrange things all the time, all day long. To
Yeah, I
get
love organizing. Do not bring me into a container store.
oh my God, no.
Do
No.
not put on one of those organizing reality shows as well. I will get sucked into it,
You
and then
put
I'll
like,
spend the whole weekend reorganizing my house.
I find like I put like containers inside of containers. Like, if this, I organize
Yeah,
my containers. I'm like,
Marie Kondo it.
yes, I'm like literally organizing inside of my container. But
But, I
yeah,
mean, it is really wild to see how far that they have come, as you said, business, social media wise, also
and
that impact that has on people too, but
also
totally
Kim's
agree.
actually. I used to, people would always make fun of Kim, right? But she is actually really smart. And even though like she's not the baby bar, but the fact that she's going and following her father's footsteps, no matter what, after reality TV, I think that is a huge influence too. Like her going into the law field and becoming some type of like on the legal field. I don't want to say she can be a lawyer. I guess she is a lawyer, right?
No, she's not a lawyer. She hasn't passed the bar at all. I don't know if she's gonna go take that route.
No.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I do think she's trying to make some good change.
Hmm.
I just don't think she is gonna fully take it to how she
No,
first put it out there to be, though.
that's awful. Um,
But we'll
I
see.
don't know how I feel about Chris though. I feel like Chris would like for being my manager and my mom as well. Like, I feel like that's a hard thing. Like, I don't know if they're all their relationships with like they stayed intact. They seem like they stayed intact, but I'd like to know really like if that was really an issue. Because remember they used to fight about Kim. You know, like they used to fight about Kim was the one who's brought everybody into this, and they used to make fun of her, and they would say like, or Courtney would say like, they're like credit cards down her butt crack. You know what I mean? Like they're just like swiping, and I'm like, because she's the one who brought everybody to the scene, the whole family. But I feel like with Chris being their mom and manager, like I wonder if all their relationships completely stayed intact. Like, could they really like? Is that possible? You know, there's eight. How many? 8 kids? 6 kids? 6 girls? I think.
Yeah, I do think that that is a good glue that can keep them together as a family. How functional the family is, though, that's a whole other story, and I
Yeah.
actually had to stop watching it, I think, when Chloe got married
Oh, really?
to Lamar, just because I remember I think they were feeding the lines of what Bruce at the time was
Oh, yeah.
going to say during the wedding, and that just
It was so
it
much.
totally turns me off. When a reality show, obviously, you have to arrive at a certain point. There is, kind of a certain plot, but when lines are being fed to you and you're trying to make it into something that it's not, that's when it just gives me the ick, and that happened this year to me with Big Brother. It's happening now with The Real Housewives of New York too.
Really?
It needs to be a little bit more authentic. Why are you having someone feed you lines on the most important day, your wedding day? I
Yeah.
think Bruce could speak from his heart. Now
Right.
Caitlyn.
I know, and I feel like too, like you're absolutely right. Because I remember before they went into Hulu, I watched the finale of them on 8, and I was like, it was so produced. They were at some house. They're at their house, their beach house, or their a house where they have like a vacation house. They were all there, and they were
Mhm.
filming there. They were forced to hang out. That's what they were doing, and it was. I'm like, this is what you gave us. I remember going online and like not blogging, but whatever we do on social media, and I was like, this is what you gave us. This is your finale after all these years. This is what you gave us, and it was like. But then they went to Hulu. But still, like I didn't watch the Hulu version at all. Still haven't watched it. I haven't watched the Hulu one, but only because I felt like, why are you at this point? What are you guys doing? Like,
Right.
you know, and Chris is literally kissing Tristan's, he's like vouching for Tristan, romanticizing Tristan. And I'm like, I gotta stop. Like, I couldn't. And then I'm like, if Chloe's got some kind of, that's another defining moment, her situation with Tristan, because that was a huge deal when she had the baby the first time he cheated, and we thought they all
I
made
totally forgot about that.
that was a huge thing too, because I remember nobody will ever forget what he's done. We'll always see him as that person. I will, anyways, as the biggest cheater in the world. And
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it wasn't one time, it was continuous and continuous. I think people could forgive back in the day Lamar for certain things, but then that
right,
got just excessive because
yeah,
of, the demons he was battling. But I,
the
they don't
Kardashians.
have a good picker. They don't have a good picker, and maybe that is karma for other stuff, and maybe it is their
Yeah,
mom guiding them in the wrong direction. Somebody in that family, please pick
yeah.
someone like good and genuine.
But I feel like they are fine until they meet the Kardashians. I swear it is the Kardashian curse. I got
Mhm.
shadow banned for like adding on to the Kardashian curse in like a very long post. But like I was going down, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because Rob, I mean, Scott looks like the life force is being drained from him.
Oh yeah.
It looks, I'm like really adrenochrome or whatever that thing. It's going it's like draining.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? They're actually
Well,
going to
he
ruin.
was on Ozempic though.
He was on Ozempic too.
Yeah.
That's another defining moment in our
Yeah,
culture.
no, he like as of late of this year, he's on Ozempic. I think he appeared on one of the shows. I saw it on TikTok, and you could see when he opened up his fridge, like
Mm,
the Ozempic medicine was in there. And he also spoke about it as too. He didn't realize like the physical effect, the
Ozempic.
extent it would have to it. Yeah, with that sunken in
I
face. So I
can't.
think he was trying to get control of it.
So is Sharon Osbourne. She's struggling bad with it. She was like, she said, she's still on, or no, she's off it now. She cannot gain any weight back. And
Yeah.
it looks really bad. Yeah, she looks very, very skinny. But they were the
Yes.
first. They're the original pop culture reality show.
Hmm.
The Osbournes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was good. But speaking of which, we saw so many celebrities transition from traditional fame to building their own brands on social media, which could be the Kardashians, could be the Osbournes too, because they built their own brand too because of that show, or even, Jessica Simpson
Yeah.
thinking back to the day. But Krista, how do you think that shift has changed the way we interact with and view celebrities?
So now, if we're breaking the fourth wall, I feel like now.
Break it.
Okay. So I feel like if we're breaking the fourth wall, that is like what the part that social media has a huge, huge part of reality TV and keeping them relevant. Now, when they switched over, okay, so we have all these celebrities that are like, I don't know, scripted TV, reality TV, and then you have the social media side of it, right? And the social media side, we are what keep them relevant. Like us the podcasters, the influence, that everybody that's watching social media, all the people, the viewers are what keep all these shows relevant in between filming. And I don't know about you, but like with Housewives and all that, with all these shows, they reach out to us to put their stuff out there. I mean, the decent cotton candy drama that they want to make them keep relevant. They fight. I do believe that like social media and influence that is everything. I think right now we are transitioning from celebrity being the thing everybody, how everybody's like Oprah's a celebrity. Everybody's like freaking out over like whoever, A-list celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I like
Mhm.
podcasters. I like literally fangirl over other podcasters. But I feel like social media, we are the new, I guess, A-listers or people that they look up to, or I mean, because we can make a lot of money on social and doing what we do, like podcasting and all that. But I feel like just the fans and having more like them having connection to the stars, more of a connection. Like I like having connection to the reality stars. Like we talk about them and then eventually we reach out to them. And I
Mhm.
also feel like our audience likes having a closer connection to them. You're not just watching a TV show anymore where it's like you're flipping the channel and they're all the way in California and they're like, it takes them weeks to like film this one thing. You know what I mean? Like we are so like, is that what you asked me with social media and the influence of
Yeah, just how do you think the shift has changed the way we interact with and view celebrities? So no, definitely everything you answered was along those lines.
Yeah.
Um, it
Just-
is wild thinking people you viewed on TV however long ago, you can easily slide into their DMs and in a PG way, unless you want to go that route. Um, and that they can respond back and you can have a cordial conversation and, talk some shit, maybe possibly. It's interesting. Or you can be on TikTok and
yeah.
join a live and talk to them live. I mean,
Like
it's
Kelly
crazy. I
Dodd.
think there's a lot of pros and cons.
Yeah. That's true because I think going live on TikTok, like TikTok is an easy live to do, but like if we're live on Instagram or they're live on Instagram, I mean, sometimes it's like they're always drinking when they get on Instagram, but that's also the fun part, like just the connection that social media brings us to them. And I do feel like reality stars are the new celebrity. And then it kind of moves over to us a little bit. I keep saying us like we're cool or something, but like no, like podcasting and like the content people, content creators, we'll say content creators. But I mean, like the relationships too, like like my sister sometimes I'll say like, who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, it's Ryan and Jen running bowling hands or whatever. Like I'm getting ready to like have them on the show. She's like, who are they? I'm like, from OC. She's like, you're talking to the castmates? I'm like, yes. But you don't think of it anymore like that. Like when they
Right.
we don't really think of it like that. My sister's like, man, you're cool. I was like, I know. I know.
Yeah,
No,
just think of them as people who you happen to see on TV, but they're just like us. They're people. And I think that is part of the reason why they are becoming, I don't want to say a higher form of celebrity, but a more focused form of celebrity because I think we all find them, while they're not 100% authentic, we find them more authentic, which so
Mhm.
many of the celebrities, where do you find any authenticity, especially with all of these that have come out of the woodwork over the last couple of years?
Mhm.
Um, so it's easier to relate to them and to have more trust in them.
Definitely. And I do feel like like we weren't, I don't say podcasts, like podcasts on route with scripted TV was the biggest thing. I don't know. There wasn't really podcasting or social media talking about it. It really didn't start till reality TV became, a real big thing, 2008 with OC.
Yeah.
But I just remember thinking, oh my God, I can talk to other people about this shit. Like I would scream at my TV and then all of a
I
sudden
know.
it was like blogging. And then, blogging, you're writing your own email to yourself, but like and people had to find you. But like that transitioned over like, I think in 2020, like podcasting, like literally COVID brought us from like blogging and we still call blogs, but the podcasting, but
Yeah.
YouTubing, but that reminded me about the blinds question, but I can't wait to get to that question.
Ugh, but no, I mean, grateful for podcasts and the world that it has created. I feel like I have finally found my people because the only people I get to talk to about reality TV is my mom and then my sister who lives in Florida. I don't have anyone to like speak to on the daily because reality TV is just infused in me. So I finally found my people and I don't feel afraid to be myself anymore. Obsessed with pop culture, an
Mhm.
encyclopedia. People get annoyed with me in my regular life because I know so much, can share so much, and it's not of interest to them. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
nice now to be able to share it with others or in various chat rooms. It's a way to release it without annoying others in my life.
Seriously, if you ever can't find me online, just text me because I will talk about. I found myself like me and Aaron would do the show. Like Aaron was hosting with me for a while,
Mhm.
right? We would talk. We would do it for 2 hours, and then be on the phone for like another 5 hours, still talking about it. Like I could
Yeah.
talk Bravo with you for 8 hours straight. We should probably do an episode where we just talk about Housewives and we like go back up because I like talking about what do you think about this one? What do you think about that one? What do you think about that one? It's
Yeah, and
all
it's kind of nice to revisit some of those with a different perspective now
yes,
because we've grown and life has changed
and it's
as well. But we have been following reality TV for so long Now, out
Mhm.
of all of the shows you have watched, which ones from the 2010s do you think had the biggest impact on pop culture as a whole? Anything beyond the Kardashians?
I think Bachelor Nation, if that's like, I think
Yeah.
Bachelor, I say Bachelor Nation, but The Bachelor. I
Mhm.
think it was one of the very early ones. And just literally with um, The Bachelor and Love Island, or like, and like those dating shows,
Yeah.
like I do feel like they definitely impacted our everything. Like I do feel like that is one of the shows that it's like one of those transcending ones too, where it transcends every year. Like we're still watching it, right? Just like Housewives.
Mhm.
Housewives is getting a little bit older, but like Bachelor Nation never gets old. And then they also have when they do like Paradise, Love Island, or Paradise. What is it?
Bachelor in
Bachelor
Paradise.
Paradise, yeah. So
Yeah.
then like second chances, you know what I mean? And I feel like that definitely made that, and Survivor definitely too. Survivor was a huge one too, because they were like the first shows, and Dancing with the Stars. Sorry, you said to
Mhm.
pick one, but those main ones are like every genre that you could think of, really. Like like being outside and all that stuff, like Survivor. And you have the dancing show. Like my mom loved that. My dad loved Survivor. I'm watching the Kardashians. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah,
all
all long lasting too.
yes, all trends. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Love those shows. Can't believe how far Love Island has come. I look forward to covering that in season 2. Season 2, I will be deep diving TV and reality TV. So maybe I'll
Okay.
have you on, Krista, for Love Island. Um,
You can be mad at me. I never saw Love. I've never seen Love Island. I've only seen it one time with
oh,
Ariana, but I
you haven't seen it?
no, just I only started watching it because of her. But I didn't see the. I want to really go back and watch all the older ones because I just want to get into like I'm so obsessed. I just want to get into like the rest of it. Like
Yeah, then there's the the UK version, which is really good too. Yeah.
Adam's like, I'm so jealous. I was like, I'm gonna watch the whole thing. He's like, I'm so mad. He's like, I wish I literally had a show like that. He's like, I feel like so many people were like, tell me to watch Love Island, Love Island. I'm like, the one I wouldn't do. And then I'm so like excited to watch the rest of it. But like,
Yeah, enjoy. Keep me
mm,
posted on how you like
I'm
it.
glad that you
If
like
you
it.
have any questions at all.
Definitely want to ask you.
Now, with all the shows we've talked about, whether or not it's reality shows like The Bachelor, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which, as we know, all of those completely dominated the 2010s and then some. What do you think makes these shows so addictive and important?
Okay. But so with reality TV, I feel like let's say with reality TV, watching other families. Now I don't want to start with all aspirants, but I want to just really talk about like Real Housewives of OC. Because when 2010, I don't know how you were, but like I was newly into like, my adult life. And we're watching all these shows. And I just feel like they definitely the housewives have always um impacted us. Like we started out watching them and for their wealth, I think for their wealth and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
like they're so relatable. They became so relatable after I think like a couple years with like Teresa and like, when Tamara threw wine in Gina's face. That was the hugest thing on like Real Housewives of OC. We're like, oh my God, she threw wine in Gina's face. And then we watched Housewives with Teresa when she goes to jail. That was huge. Like that made us really like, I think that kind of like back to like watching it, addicted to watching Jersey and watching their lives. And they are way more relatable than watching scripted TV or actors that you never in a million years would ever be able to have any connection, never talk, never see, never, interview them. Who would ever, you know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to interview those
Mhm.
celebrities. And then when you have reality TV, you have everybody like they're us basically. Like
Yeah.
Jersey Shore. When Jersey Shore started, I was like, oh my God, you're doing what I do. Like that's crazy. Jersey Shore is a huge one. But
Yeah, I'm obsessed,
being
and it's
able
still
to,
so good.
I know, and they still make the same amount. They still make millions and millions of dollars. It's like
Yeah.
magic. I tell people that show is magic. You could
Yeah.
never find a group like that and have such an awesome connection like they do.
Mhm.
And how they rally around each other. You know what? Let's talk about that because they rally around each other more than these freaking housewives do. And the
Yep.
housewives is something we should be able to watch and be like, oh, like look how great they are. Like when we watched Miami when they rallied around Lisa, we're like,
Top plastic surgeon in this town, and I'm his best creation.
I love you.
Love you too.
Everyone loves to underestimate me, and I love to prove everyone wrong.
My husband built the perfect wife, and I built the perfect life. In the blink of an eye, my life changed. I'm losing my best friend, losing my husband to another woman.
Here's a recap of their breakup on The Real Housewives of Miami.
Lenny and I have been through downs, clearly, and ups. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah. For 15
part of
years.
relationships.
Part of life. And you know why we stuck through it together? Is because you know what? We know that the grass is not greener.
Exactly.
On the other
That's
side.
the thing, yeah.
And Lenny's mom said something very important at our wedding. She said, the Hochsteins, we never divorce.
Yeah, put it down. After the past few weeks, there's this thing that happened.
And I believe 1 month, so I might be single, so.
I heard there was like issues, but I thought you knew specific.
Yeah. Same stuff it's always been, you know. I do anything I want, whenever I want, and you stay home and go to work and come back.
We discussed it a lot.
All the time.
I don't want to see that happen.
I do.
I feel like he's missing.
No, he's too busy. Logan, aren't you going to play a game?
Where's the third mission?
I don't know.
Tell me when it's doing loaded.
Okay. No. Why? Because then I would be cheating on who I really care about.
There it is. Boom.
No. Nobody knows. Nobody.
I'm mic'd up, already.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm whispering?
I just don't know if my marriage is gonna survive. I think it's over.
Like, is there anybody else involved?
Because there is somebody involved.
There's somebody else involved. I always knew.
Lenny's dating her now. He's dating her. In 1 week, he told me this on Sunday. He started dating on Wednesday, and now he has a full-on girlfriend. And I'll go like this. Is that good? It'll fall. Hand around me like you love me. Because you do. That was on a Saturday. And then Monday came around, and I noticed he was acting very strange. So I asked him, is everything okay? And he looked at me dead in my face and said, I want a divorce. I feel blindsided. I feel hurt. I feel that the person I've been with for 15 years doesn't care about me at all. I really didn't ever think that someone I considered my family and the father of my children would just turn around and throw me away in the blink of an eye, all while telling me he's going to start dating and you should look into finding a home so you and the kids could go. And if you don't, you're gonna get a first front row seat to me dating. And that's what he said to me.
So we're like, oh, like hearts are smiling. We're like, oh, thank God. Like, finally, we have a show where they're not reveling in somebody else's downfall. You know?
Right. And I think that's the reason why they are long lasting. And I don't see them stopping anytime soon unless Bravo goes under or the cast doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't see them ending it because they have each other's back so much, kind of like the Friends cast, but they can create drama without totally backstabbing and crossing a line that you can't come back from. Like, there's certain lines you don't cross with kids, with trying to ruin someone's business. I just think some of the housewives have just gone way too far. And then that's good learning moment for us as viewers to not go that route that they go.
It should actually be learning lessons for the other casts, like the other cast of franchises, because we don't want. All right, so back when Teresa flipped the table, we thought it was cool. You know what I mean? Oh, she's cool. But as time goes on, it got all of those franchises that started then. The casts have gotten so toxic with each other because they've been around each other for so long. They were forced to fight, and
Yeah.
now they have to force each other to hang out on like OC, or they create things for them to do, so they have to hang out because they're not doing it in real life. They don't hate they hate each other in real life. I mean, come on. So then they get them drunk, or they make them drink. I'm not saying make them drink. They have a drinking game, and they're around dinner, and then they get their content, and the producers get to go home for the night, and then you have a bunch of ruined friendships. But
Right.
the other side, it's their producer's dream. But it also, if you're going to go on these shows, you have to know that you're not going to have your friendships are not going to be intact when you get off, or you just make a pact at the very beginning and you all say to each other, look, I'm going to fuck you over. You're going to fuck me over. I'm going to fuck you over this. That, you know what I mean? We're going to do it this way all season. I feel like that is the way to keep their friendships together, is to just agree that you're going to go after me for this. And then Lisa, you go after Whitney for that. Like, I mean, Heather kind of contrived that all of Salt Lake last season. She kind of contrived the whole entire thing. So it's
She
like,
tries a lot of stuff and pretends like she doesn't. I wish she would just freaking own it.
I didn't sleep for 2 nights after they fired when that I'm telling you, that I was so affected with I'm screaming cease and desist for like a week straight because
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't happy about that decision. So we are aligned.
well, they
I
knew
thought she was gold.
she
I
was
was that I don't agree with how she handles herself in every
really
situation
not
at
that
all, but
she should have had
compared
me.
to what Jen Shaw did, compared to what others have done, come on now. Come
Heather
on
protected a violent
now.
criminal. Heather, you protected a violent criminal. And
Yeah.
then you lied and tried to. Oh my God, I was so afraid of her. Oh, Jen Shaw, I was protecting her for 2 years. Monica can't do. We have to get rid of the fraud. And it's like, okay, Heather, don't worry, she can't hurt you anymore. We love you, Heather, and fuck you, Monica. And it's like Monica came with her own bag of shit. She didn't have to create storylines or fights with other people. She enjoyed being friends with the other cast members, even though it was fake. She thought they were really her friend. When they went to the Bahamas and they did that stuff, I was like, okay, I like this. I can watch this again. I'm so happy that they're being kind to each other and just having a good time, because we can have drama all by themselves. But we'll never get into that because they'll get rid of somebody like Monica would for some reason. And they're still dead set against her. I do believe that Bravo is going to get rid of Heather. I think Heather's going to be done, and I think Monica's going to come back.
I hope so.
Well, she's done too many things wrong, so.
Yeah.
And
Fingers crossed. Like she's just like she's TV gold, and I wish Heather was one of my favorites. So I'm not happy like talking non-positive about her because she was one of my favorites. But I feel like her and so many other housewives, they go to BravoCon, they get all of this hype, they fluff their feathers up,
Heather's got
their
her blood
egos
up.
get huge, and it's gone to her head. And that authenticity that we liked about her is gone. I don't trust her.
I don't either. She does not, and that is not a black eye. Her face got swollen up from like she had procedure done or whatever, but then she had a sty in her eye. And I'm telling you, it happened to me too. But I'm telling you, I compared her black eye or her alleged black eye to my side of my face. It looked just like that.
Oh, really?
So nobody even gave her a black eye. The producers told her to create that storyline. That's what I don't like anymore. Is now we know that there is showrunners, and they're creating extra shit that doesn't need to be there. And
yeah, I get that.
I don't know who's lying to them, because we don't want half the things they're doing. We didn't want Tom to have a redemption arc. We didn't want Ariana to get screamed at the end. We didn't want, nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted Teresa to do what she did. They created the Evan rumor. That's what I mean. Like, there's the one thing that right now that if they don't get a hold of what the showrunners are doing or fix that thing, everybody's getting mad about it. I mean, in my perception, because they're doing things that were like, we knew about this cease and desist. Heather did know about Von Teese. They all knew that she was Von Teese. Why lie about that and create that for an entire season? We could have fun stuff. We could have them being real friends. Every time that Monica wanted to forgive one of the girls, she's like, okay, she was fine. Like, she, talk about it, forgive it. And that was like so fake. But I just don't want to watch Bravo kind of destroy their OG characters, like what they did to Shannon, tried to do to Shannon. To me, that was just dirty and grimy. She's been there so long. She's never left you guys. She's already been sued once. Why would you bring on somebody that was like dating job? Why? She's trying to be sober, So there's like a huge thing with that right now that I don't know how to.
Yeah, it's sad.
View Bravo.
It's sad how so many of our favorite housewives have kind of fallen at
Very.
part in the hands of Bravo, at part to the hands of themselves, because you can't depend on this forever. You need to have a smarter game plan in case things go awry. But definitely production has their hand in the pot and stirring things up. I mean, I definitely learned a lot 2 summers ago when
Yeah.
I went and visited Benton, Illinois, where Crappie Lake was
You
filmed.
did?
I did. So I learned a lot hanging out with the locals, and the
How, con-
firehouse, and
how contrived the storylines can be, and how the edit is so screwed sometimes.
um, not the whole thing. Certain parts, though. Certain parts, not
I
the
did
whole
like Happy Hour.
entire thing. There was so much authenticity to it and so much more I wish they would have shown. I learned
Yeah.
so much about Luann that now she will be in my Mount Rushmore of
Really?
housewives because
Really?
of what I learned about her. Yeah, like one of the stories, and I became friends with the motel owners there, Akash and Haral.
Look at us. Look at you.
Um
All hanging out with family.
they're so nice. They know how to party. That whole town knows how to party. But there was this senior citizen lady that was living at the motel for a
Mm-hmm.
very long time, had no family out
Oh,
here. I think her family was maybe in California. Lou flew out her whole family to surprise her. None of that was shown. And
are
even
you kidding
before
me?
that, Lou was taking her out to breakfast, like almost every day, taking her out to breakfast
Now,
or
was it
Sonia
Sonia was with her? Who was with her? With Luann? Sonia
Yeah, it
or
was Sonia.
okay. Now you hung out with them, right?
Yeah.
Sonia is the one I'm worried about the most in the entire franchises because I think her rejection that she gets
Yeah.
is her depression and her getting naked so many times on Ultimate Girls Trip and Bravo watching it and showing us bothered me. Now,
Yeah.
what did you experience with her when you were like, was she getting naked? I don't, it's not, I feel very upset.
I would say that definitely those that were on the premise saw her naked a lot.
That's embarrassing.
Um,
And Bravo shouldn't be filming it and
yeah,
holding on it.
her last night, when I will just say rap parties get crazy, and she had a lot of fun that night. There's just certain stories that are like, it's
Yeah.
really bad. I can't even share.
I just
Like,
feel
it's that bad, and the
bad.
visuals I saw of that night and stuff too, so I get why it didn't come back, even though it was a success, and I think they wanted it to come back, but I think Sonia is unfortunately too much of
A problem.
a
Like
liability. From
I was
my
very
experience at Crappie Lake, as I said, Lou is in my Mount Rushmore. I love her way more than I ever could have thought. And
yep.
Sonia, who I thought was in my Mount Rushmore, I will never look at her
Oh, really?
the same. And I do feel really concerned for her and what will happen for her
Like her mental health.
long term.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Going back when they were filming the show, when they just were trying to bring it back again before they rebooted it, I noticed like she was married to, JP Morgan, right? So she was so up in status. Then
Mhm.
she loses him, and then her life was destroyed. Like she felt like she lost her social status. Then you get it back on Housewives and you're there for 10 years. But then, of course, it starts to go down again. And that's where I think the last 5 or 6 years has been so concerning because her alcohol, it's not just that, it's just it changes her. And I know she tries to detox in between. But when you can't even bring your show back and your best friend can't help, I'm really concerned. I feel like this show, I'm not blaming Bravo for addiction and all that stuff where people starting to drink again. I do know that they have to sign contracts on the contract that says if you have issues with alcohol or mental illness, it's not the job for you. Please sign this here. Don't sue us because we might have to manipulate storylines. We might have to do this.
Mhm.
So they do sign it. And I know going
Right.
into it very well that I would be a victim of all that because it would be on me though for my mental health. Like with
For
Lady,
sure.
I'm bipolar. When she came on, she's like, I'm bipolar. I stopped taking my meds 3 months ago. This is Leah, season 1. Now look what we're at now. Now she's how many years later, disgruntled employee, and she's blaming Bravo for her
Mhm.
taking her mental illness. When you said on camera, you stopped taking your meds. And so I'm saying, you have to know these shows are going to screw with you. And I would not, it would destroy me. I would be destroyed to these shows. I already have to deal with a lot of the Jersey stuff. Like I deal with it my whole life. So it's like, I've been fucked over by the best of them over here, but I get it. But like being on the show, I feel like you have to either agree to like fuck each other over and just don't get mad about it. You know, like I don't know how they even go on sometimes. Like some of the stuff that we see them do to each other and they have forced to be friends again it's actually kind of like growth, I guess you call it growth, because in real life you wouldn't be with these people again.
No dysfunctional growth.
Yeah, Tamara would be, yeah.
And getting back to the Sonia aspect,
yes,
why I think we always thought she had certain struggles. I'm not going to put a label on her.
Yeah.
I think her being on Crappy Lake just put more visibility on it. There was no way of getting around it. So I'm sure production and the crew had a much more larger eye on like what was really happening. You know, how late she was staying up and how much she was drinking every single day as compared to Lou, who absolutely did not drink anything at all. She only drank her frosé. She would wake up every morning, work out,
I thought
you know, and go to bed early.
Now, do you think Luann also said, like Sonia, does Sonia know that the reason it's not coming back is because of what her
Oh, I have no idea. And I can't even say for sure if that is the reason why. I just I think that is the consistent speculation, even beyond what I think.
Really like destroy even more, but that this has to wake her up. I hope this wakes her up and she realizes that this is not good for her and she's destroying herself.
I don't think so, because maybe it was like 4 months ago she was on Watch What Happens Live and went off on Jeff Lewis.
What
happened? You know,
I remember we're good now. Okay. But she'd announced, I think she was pregnant. Yes. And I said, oh, good, another baby out of wedlock. Oh, yes. So it took me a minute to get her. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, Jeff. I don't do Jeff's show because I don't want to be canceled. What was her response?
What was her response?
Yeah, what was her response?
She was fine. She's got a great sense of humor. We actually are friends, and she's actually a really cool person. I like her a lot.
She really is.
Wow.
She's a nurse.
She was a nurse.
She's a nurse.
Right. And so are you,
Luann
Lou.
is a nurse.
Yes.
We always kind of bonded over that.
Yes. Wow.
I actually don't do podcasts because I don't want to be canceled.
Right. Yeah, me too.
You can go to so in the city, no cameras allowed.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, smart that you have no cameras allowed at Sonia in the City. That is very smart. Yes.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad.
I actually have a video my assistant took.
I cancel it. You're out.
Oh, yeah.
I will not do. But I always smell it before I.
All right. Jeff, how is Zoila doing these days?
Great.
How's Zoila?
She's still working for me.
Oh, good.
Every
That
weekend.
is great.
Really?
Phaedra, what do you?
What I am going to allow Sonia to answer for me.
I know that Jerry. Every time I say Jerry, how's your marriage? Because obviously I would like to have sex with Jerry. Also, I feel our brands are in line and we could go with. But Rebecca is so amazing, and they're such an amazing couple. I never break up a marriage.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you for that. We love that.
All right. We're going to leave it there.
I was very annoyed by Sonia, and I believe, I have not seen the episode, but Shane did, that they did a lot of work to edit her obnoxious drunk behavior. But what you see was 20 times worse. She never stopped talking. She was belligerent. She was rude and disrespectful. She was confrontational. She came for me at the break. I was completely turned off by her behavior.
How was she at the after party?
I don't think she could even make it to the after party.
Well, what they left in was that when that Teresa thing happened, Sonia was like monologuing, and she said, "You need to bow down to her. You need to bow down to her." But then if you listen closely, even when they're going to break, you can hear Sonia, you can hear her mic, and they're trying to muffle it.
Yeah.
But you can hear her shout out things the entire rest of the episode.
She was talking the entire time.
The entire time.
Underneath everyone.
Does
you know, she looked like a drunk hot mess
She did.
then. So I don't think, I just imagine it's probably only getting worse. And where's her stable home too? She doesn't have a stable home. Like,
This is horrible. Where's her
it's
daughter?
not
Her
good
daughter
for your psyche, but
not at all.
But speaking of psyches, we can talk about Real Housewives for ages.
Yeah.
You're really familiar with Celebrity Blinds,
Mm.
Krista,
Yeah.
and the infamous NT lawyer, aka John
Cool.
Nelson. Do you think these blinds that you're familiar with of his, do
Yeah.
they reflect the true behind the scenes of Hollywood, or are they more entertainment than fact? Or it could be in the middle. What are your thoughts? Because I go back and forth, but you
Okay.
know.
I now for blinds, I know we can, they're fun. They're fun to talk about, but I don't think that there's 10 a day, 10 secrets a day that you actually know. I know for a fact that these blind item people, can I say his other name? I don't want to call him his real name. I don't call him
Yeah.
anti-lawyer, I call him cunty liar. I just like, even though like Paige says, this is all fantasy, you have to look at the fine print. I know, I don't know how or who he has to do it for him. But going through Reddit and stuff, like, he's just finding things and coming up with some conclusions. And most of the time he's right. But if you read them, the conclusion that you will come to the same conclusion of speculation or whatever. I definitely don't use them as like, because I'm not going to be able to cite it. You know what I mean? I can't say this and this. I'll say, oh, this is fun gossip. This is a blind item. I'll never talk about his blind items. But I just feel like blind items are, they're good, but you can't, I don't know, they're just good. They're entertainment. And I don't think they're ever really, they're not lies. People aren't out there making up lies about them. They're speculation. But like, I don't use them as fact, but like they are fun because I think about with Jersey, like there's all these things that like I know, or like Kim D knows, but we can't really say it because we can't prove it happened. We just know it happened. You know what I mean? Or things that happen, but like with blind items, I don't know how that you can make that much money off of 10 made up things a day, because I don't believe that he hasn't, like, they don't have an inner circle. Like, I mean, I think we could do just as good as that person. He does. But I'm not going to sit there I can't think that hard 10 times a day. I didn't realize he does that 10 times a day. Now, how much gossip, like I said, how many lies or secrets could you know? How many could you really know? 10 a day? Like,
No. I mean, as you said, I think it's a combination of pulling from here and there, making general statements where eventually it could fit to anyone. And sometimes making up straight up lies as
oh, yeah,
well. There
yeah.
have definitely been blinds that have been straight up lies. I don't think every blind writer up there intentionally tries to put out lies. And I'm not saying he always tries to purposely put out lies, but he has definitely put out straight up lies that
I think
he made up.
And I think for him, it's not malicious. I think it's more attention-y. Like he wants all these, I mean, I think he just does it because he just feels like he does have a huge following, and he's going to have to put some stuff out there sometimes. I'm sure isn't true. Not he has to, but I don't feel like you should take actual scripted celebrities, like like some stories that he's done. I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's good. I don't think you should do like Amanda Bynes and stuff like that, because those people are struggling and they're not on our shows and they're not in front of us anymore. His Real Housewives ones, they're the fun ones, because put it this way, our housewives tell us more about each other than the blind items do. They sit there and but I'm not mad about it. I just don't think that it's like me going around and saying this happened, Rachel and John, this happened. But it's like, I can't, it's my blind item, because how am I going to prove it happened unless I have video where, and I would never in a million years, I've never once talked to them about like the show, being on the show. Every time I'm with them, like around the whole group of people, I never once have brought the show, because if I think about it, if I start talking about that and I ask them questions and I'm here talking about it, who's going to fucking be my friend after that? Who's going to be my hanging out, like my group of friends that I'm talking about shit? You know what I mean? I'm not going to go and talk about anything I know. I mean, of course, you see how like heated I get, and I'm just like, that didn't happen. But it's like I could use them as blind items, but I don't. It's just, yeah. There's been some things that, yeah. I'm surprised he has a website. I'm surprised he still has blind items. I'm surprised he's still up there.
Yeah, I'm surprised Two, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation that allegedly, he gets paid to put out blinds,
Paid by who?
from different camps
I doubt it. He's a liar. I do believe
and stuff. No, I'm not saying he did.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that he said that. I don't have any proof that he
Yeah.
said that.
Everything we say is alleged. No more crazy makeup things.
All alleged, of course, but I did have Femme Tarot on my second
Ooh.
episode,
Cool.
and that is what she picked up on. I was just watching another one today from another tarot card reader, Aphrodite.
I like
I
him.
believe, yeah.
I watch
So
all
I
them.
was watching one of his old ones, and it was talking about when Nicki Minaj was going after that um celebrity blind items
Okay.
account.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Nikki was attacking her because of a blind that she had spoken about that came from Enty, and it just caused this beef. But I was
Remember-
listening to it, and he was picking up on, that people pay to have this information put out there. And who's the one that put the information out there? It was Enty. She was just the one, like so many other TikTokers, that was regurgitating it, and they think it's that
Right.
is coming from that female. Well, no, it's really coming behind the creepy man who is in his closet, doing,
And a big
what he's doing.
There's a little
So
girl in there
yeah,
upstairs, but I feel like he really screwed it. Like that. What was the girl's name that just we lost her? She was doing.
Kyle and Marissa.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to say her name wrong. Kyle Marissa. I feel like he completely took what she was doing the wrong way. She was giving him so much clout and so much talking about his blinds, everything. He was getting mad about it and threatening her and saying things that were completely threatening. And then she ends up, mysteriously unalived, or I don't know if whether she did herself, but I feel like that whole situation that she went through was devastating, and I feel like that played a part in what happened. But that is, I feel like blind items are dangerous there, because what we're doing the same. Think about it. They're paying them to put out blind items. They're not blind anymore if the person's giving you the thing. I can cite sources of say a lot of Melissa, the Gorgas, and Teresa. They do give you stuff to put out, but if you consider that a blind item or an exclusive, or you know what I mean,
right?
You can't sit there with your receipts and stuff unless you have receipts, unless they give them to you. But then it's not anymore,
No, but in regards to Kyle Marissa, that is something I will be covering in the 10th episode, and I have the Bish therapist joining for that episode. And in regards,
I don't know why it was so. I don't know what happened with her. Why was it so bad that her personally, her account had to be taken down? That was a huge loss, and never is a devastating loss when you.
I don't know. I think that I don't know if that had to do with J-Lo. I don't know what that had to do with.
Somebody did it.
I do know her passing had to do, I think, because of scar tissue around the heart or something like that. I can't remember, so I don't want to misspeak, but I will have all those details correct
I'm curious
in the 10th episode. But no, I mean, I wish.
Scary.
I said this before in another episode. I wish he would just be honest. This is where I'm getting the information from. Like so many other TikTokers you follow that do deep dives.
Yes, like you
just say this is where I got the information from. Just stop passing it off as bogus blinds.
I know. And I know she got lucky with having a lot of people. She was really had a great following because she was so exciting to watch and so sweet and everything. And I just, somebody like Enty, it's like watching an infomercial trying to get his blinds. She's exciting, she was on there, but I do feel like that's where I get nervous and scared sometimes, talking about certain things, because I don't want to, a certain person in Jersey was retaliating against all of people like me that he doesn't like. I was getting threats and death threats almost every other day from this person. And it's that's where I'm like, oh my God, I gotta kind of be careful about what I do, and I have to maybe back away from certain subjects. Because
especially anything with New Jersey, that just became really toxic. But no, I mean, I try to be very careful about the blinds that I really don't share blinds anymore. I just discuss them on here. But I just try to really be careful about all those speculations that are put out there because you don't know who's going to be reading it. Is it going to be their child who's in 8th grade? Like it doesn't feel good, but
that's why I get mad at with Teresa. I'm like, you know that your nieces and nephews are going to see this one day. This is your family. I know you're on TV, but you're saying things, you're putting out family secrets that shouldn't be coming from you. And you know that your nieces and nephews are going to watch this one day, and your kids are going to watch this when they grow up one day. Like, I know I try to be careful about repeating some certain things that I hear, but I made a rule a long time ago that I'm not going to talk about anything that I can't find on here. I mean, unless I can give my opinion, I can tell you what I think happened.
Right.
The situation, and I'm not going to ever like do an exclusive unless, I don't want to hurt anybody. I'll talk about what's already out there. And
likewise.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the positive side of things. Reality TV has really evolved from its early days. How do you think shows like today, like Real Housewives or Love Island, reflect or shape the current landscape? Any just final thoughts on those shows?
So with fashion, it definitely has a lot to do with our fashion and our lingo, and I feel like it shapes and also it's like I'm telling you, we looked up to, like, I don't remember what we looked up to, but I like nowadays I feel like there's also the trends. It sets a lot of trends. Media, there's so much always going on. It's like it's literally Sports Center for people like us because it runs 24/7, and like just literally highlighting all of everything that they in the last 15 years of reality TV. We could come up with so many iconic moments that have like literally became ingrained in our lives and like we everyday household names. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm acting crazy about reality TV, but I feel like, people say to me, why do you talk? Who cares about reality TV? I'm like, fucking a lot of people. Like, it runs like Sports Center. Like, you can go on social media any time of the day. There's still threads about Erica's divorce and whether she knew or not, still going from Thanksgiving Eve when she filed for divorce. Still, the same thread is going, and people will continue to talk about it. And I just feel like it gives everybody like a community to go to. Like, I know I keep saying reality TV and social media, but I just think it goes hand in hand. Like, we need it because where are we going to go after this? We talk about everything. We want to talk about it. And I just feel like it is such a pivotal part. Social media, the influence that it has, the fashions, everything. Like, there's like a podcast for everything about reality TV or pop culture.
Yeah.
And who goes to CNN for pop culture news? Nobody. You don't go to ABC. You go to any of those mainstream media for any of our news. There's true crime. You get true crime on our, there's like these different genres of reality TV, and that's considered reality TV. But we like to be involved in stuff. Like, when people like us, we like to be involved. And then, I don't know, I just feel like it also with TikTok too, the younger generation has a chance to like see what we like, learn what we've already known, like about housewives. I love going on there and seeing like these younger girls talking about like flipping the table. I'm like, I love this. But it also has a lot of influence on how and how like our real lives too. Like, people say it doesn't, but like I've looked up to like Mike the Situation. I look up to Carl Radke because I'm going through my own struggles. But there's a lot of things that we watch on these shows that we can relate to, and we're like, oh my God, they were really just like us. They're not A-list celebrities, and they are also going through things that we go through, and I feel like people can relate to them if they have the issues that people have.
Honest to God, yeah.
Looking
illness. Back to Brittany and Jack, sorry to cut you off. Brittany and Jax, and being in that type of toxic relationship where you're a new mom, there are so many women that are in situations like that, and one very dear and near to my heart.
Yes.
That seeing her go through that and walk away from that is hopefully giving that person some strength to know that they know better and maybe get the hopefully they know better and can do something the same so they are not stuck with the Jax for the rest of their life. There's so many different impacts because you get to see in their life and really evaluate yours and again learn from it.
Look what Scandal did to everybody. Scandal, for some reason, for me, I was 3 a.m. I was sweating. I was like, literally from like France. Gabby's calling me. She's like, we gotta go live right now, and she's like telling me, I'm like, no, and I'm like sweating, and I'm like, why are we so affected by this? But literally, when Scandal happened, I think we can mention Scandal to anybody in the world, and they'll like have an inkling of what happened.
Mhm.
But Jax Taylor on the backs of Scandal got a podcast, a reality show, a bar that he only used 12.5% of because he has 3 partners. He's a blind partner. So he put no money up, and then he has to give 12.5% to Brittany. So Jax, you only owe 12. I hope he watches this because he won't watch me. You owe 12.5% of your bar. You don't own a bar, dude. It's not your bar, and you destroy everything that comes good in your life. And Brittany will come out on top.
Yeah.
Because we did watch her from the very beginning. We watched him cheat on her. We watched her find out. We watched her talk about, play that tape with him or whatever it was, recording of him cheating on her, talking about her.
You can rot in hell. You did have sex with her?
Yes, it's true. Yes.
Rot in hell. And you deserve to rot in hell. You deserve to rot in hell.
Talking about her. Then they get mad. Then he loses his dad. We think he's changed. Like, we have watched them go through so much. Their wedding was a disaster. Their marriage was a disaster. Their valley was amazing. And then they get it's like, as much as I can't stand him, I root for Jax sometimes because I used to be Jax. That's my problem. I used to be just like him. And we met in AC back in like before, like two seasons in. And that's where we got in an argument. He called me Jersey trash and all. But like, I realized watching him, he wouldn't let me post. That's how he blocked me. But I realized watching him, I was just like him. And he has not evolved out of the selfishness, that wanting to be something he's not, always wanting what everybody else has. He said it. He's like, I'm always comparing myself to everybody else. And that's the one thing, like with reality, with these shows, the people that don't need the money, like, see, like Teresa doesn't have a real job, but like somebody like Vicky, she literally will be fine with or without it. She was classy and rich before the show. She'll be classy and rich after. She's not going to act a fool on TV unless she just wants attention. But like, you have people that literally, like Lisa Rinna, got so desperate to be holding on to a show that you've never had before. Like, this is something you can't hold on to. Like Kim Zolciak, you cannot depend on this. It's fun, but like Joe Gorga, he's never going to be broke because he was successful before the show, during the show, after the show. Teresa, they're all trying to destroy these cast members, and the cast members that don't need the show, don't need the money, and they're just doing it for, a platform. Like Candace, look at Candace did with her platform. It's like, we have them. Like, why can't everybody be a Candace and just come out?
I miss her so much.
I can't believe it. I'm so mad at Bravo. There's so many things they did that I don't understand.
Yeah, she will be back, but hopefully this will not be the demise of Bravo.
I even told them to see, this is what we can do. Say we're talking about them, we see them on TV. We can get a hold of them and tell them to do the show on YouTube and on their podcast. They'll have more views on there than they would on regular TV. Think about it. We would be so invested if they would do a little reality show with Chris, her, the baby. How many people would watch that?
Yeah, it would be really cute.
Not have to worry about giving any of it to Bravo.
Yeah.
Why not?
She made the best decision in doing so.
Definitely. And she left basically.
I commend her for that.
Yeah, she didn't leave on like a bad term. You know what I mean? She left. Everybody loves her still. Like, she bowed out gracefully. And I remember her saying to Chris, said, leave it 5 years. If you can't make anything out of this out of 5 years, like when they were talking about going on it, she was the least, she said, like, she didn't have her college degree. She had like nothing. And over those, at times, she became an actor. She got her college degree. She's literally like, I don't know, a CNA, whatever she is, some kind of like, I don't know. She got some kind of degree. I don't know. I'm like stupid when it comes to that.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, but just to do that and then to come out better than what they all said that she wouldn't on that show, her singing career, her acting career, like, come on, you can take these platforms and really make your life like be.
Yeah, but you put the hard work into it, and you're also genuine.
And also you want to be. You don't want. See, I would want somebody to be like, I would want to be not the villain. I would want people to like look up to me or like, be like, oh, she went through that or she went through this or whatever. You can't do that with people like Teresa. Like, you can't look at her and go, oh, she's grown. I want to be just like her.
No, I wish.
I know. Like,
even though she drives me crazy, just like Jax, I'm still rooting for her. I still want nothing but the best for her and her daughters. The
unfortunately,
person she's married to is a different story.
yeah,
I don't like watching her on TV anymore because of
No,
who
it's
she's with, but I still really, really, really want the best for her. There's a housewife I'm rooting the most for. It might be her. Just
yeah. Right now, we have to worry about her. We
go
need
in
her.
a different direction. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I think if Louis was gone, I don't think she would change. Her heart's not going to change. Her heart, something broke in her a long time ago, and like this is really sad. Like Joey's mourning his sister. There's no going back. So there's things that have been said now that they will really never go back from, and you can't. There's just you just can't, no matter what. Like you
Well, I think
can't.
her heart broke because of jail and the loss of her parents, and
Well, you
who
don't have to make it your
sweeps
brother.
in right
Doesn't-
then and puts an earworm in her head.
That's
But we won't get into that topic because
I would go for hours. I know.
I don't need any crazies after me,
Oh,
please.
really?
I
Oh,
come in peace, guys. I come in
blame me.
peace.
Don't blame me. I didn't say anything wrong. Just blame me.
I come in peace.
I'm just being tough love. So.
But Krista, if you could pick one reality show from today's lineup that you think would have a lasting legacy in pop culture, which one would it be and why?
I would say Real Housewives, Bravo's Real Housewives, all of them. It has lasted. It can be toxic, but I do believe they still have it in them to have something that we can watch and enjoy watching these ladies. They don't have to be mega rich. The cotton candy drama, conflict resolution. I feel like Housewives is my ultimate all time. Like I do feel like that is the one show that it's again it's transcended over time, just like Bachelor has. And even though it's changed, the landscape has changed with it. There's diversity. There's a lot of discussions that come out of it, a lot of important discussions that come out of it.
Yeah.
And it just they also involve. I said they transcend or involve with time. Like even though we are starting to get to like we found the Monica, that we still find Housewives gems. But I do feel it gives them such a good platform too to like start to really like, do something good for people. But I do feel like they have a lasting effect on all of us. And I think it's good. I think it might evolve into like different types of different types of Real Housewives shows.
Yeah.
But one is definitely that. I want to say Bachelor too, because they're the two that I literally are. I feel like the entire nation watches, or the entire world watches both of them.
And they have the strongest fan base.
They do. And the craziest fan base.
Yes, loyal and crazy. So
that is to the fan base is a big thing.
We love so hard.
We do. I'm not angry, guys. I'm just passionate.
Yes.
And once the voices go down, these people and their problems are not our people or our problems. We just like, you know what I mean? They're not. I'm not angry, guys. I swear. People think I'm angry. I'm just Jersey. And listen, my mom, the way I deal with things, I don't sugarcoat it, and it comes off like I'm like angry, but I'm really not. I'm not. It's just I smile. Like we were talking about her. Like I feel like you have to get to know me to love me and to watch me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm all over the place. I probably didn't even answer your questions the right way.
No, you did.
I tried, but
don't doubt yourself.
I was nervous too, though. But I do feel like I want to start doing interviews. I'm very proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'm like, oh my God, look at her. You're just very you're so positive, and your face is so radiant, and you have all the good stuff, and you take time to do it too. Like I'm not trying to be lazy, but like I love the fact that you do your deep dives, and like you really do get excited about the information, and we get excited to talk about it. And
thank you. But Krista, you do a lot of work going live those 3 days, and for how long you're doing, and owning the chat room and being able to just continuously talk. That is, you've put out a lot of content. So, that's equally as hard. So, well, that was such a fun conversation. Krista, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on everything from reality TV to celebrity binds. It's always a blast getting your perspective on the ever evolving world of pop culture. For everyone listening, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Krista's podcast, Reality with Krista Marie. And What's the
Okay.
non-YouTube version again? I do apologize.
Okay, so YouTube is at Reality with Krista Marie, but the Who Study on podcast is only on the podcast platforms. You can watch all the episodes on YouTube as well. They are recorded there, but I'm Reality with Krista Marie on all the platforms. So follow me on all of them, Instagram, because when I'm live, I'm on all 5 of them. So
yes, doing the thing, and she's always spilling the best tea in the latest pop culture news. And for those of you tuning in, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Pop Culture Expose. We've covered 2010s to present day. But next week, we're diving in even deeper, shifting gears, taking a look at how celebrity culture and social media have become inseparable, kind of like Krista and I's conversation today.
Wow.
So you won't want to miss it. And until then, I am Danielle, and this has been Pop Culture Expose. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you, Krista.
Tune into the buzz, it's the talk of the day. From Bravo shows to the latest celeb spree, we've got the tea, come sip it with me. Dani Gossip Girl, Pop Culture Expose. We're spilling all the secrets.